So if I could get you to start off, could you introduce yourself and what you get up to in your line of work?
Nice. So my name is Gabriel. I'm 24 years old. I am from Belo Horizonte, which is the capital of the state of Minas Gerais in Brazil. I've been a veterinary technician for 6 years now, and currently I serve as the general manager of Paraíso dos Focinhos, which is a dog hotel, a boarding and temporary care facility.
That sounds amazing. So how did you get into managing a dog hotel? Because it's definitely something that I reckon has an amazing backstory.
So my mom started this business in 2013 with a small space in our backyard. She was caring for dogs while their owners traveled, or some dogs were rescued from the streets, which is something that is unfortunately really common here in Brazil. Um, well, the business really took off in mid 2015, around that time, when she began receiving more dogs through referrals from pet owners and friends, and also from other, how can I say, from her customers. In 2016, we moved to a house in Pedro Leopoldo, which is a city near Belo Horizonte. It's more like countryside, away from all the business of the city, you know. Due to conflicts with neighbors, they were being disturbed by the noises because dogs are noisy. Um, and they were also disturbing the dogs. So we decided to move to the city, um, just to make sure they were well taken care of, you know. That same year, I contracted a necrotizing pneumonia. So I was in the hospital for 3 months, and my mom was crazy because of that. Um, so at that time, I realized I wanted to go to this healthcare career. It was something that amazed me. Um, so I told her I wanted to be a nurse technician, and she said, "Well, I can't afford this right now. The business was not as big as it is right now." So she said, "I can pay for your veterinary technician course." Um, so I took it, even though it was not what I wanted at the time. Um, and I fell in love with it. Like, taking care of animals is something really nice. It's something really rewarding. You know, it's a very rewarding career. So in 2018, I completed my studies. I was 18 at the time. Um, and right after it, I started working at the best veterinary hospital in my city. I learned a lot there. I saw a lot of great cases, a lot of things that taught me how to be a good technician, you know. So eventually I began working with her, taking care of the dogs at the operations. So I was helping the veterinarians who worked with her back then. And today I am the general manager, and I organize the staff, the clients. I provide consultations based on my knowledge, and I offer the necessary support. Everything she needs, I'm there for her.
It sounds like an amazing journey as well. And kind of spoken to quite a few people where obviously being a vet is really rewarding because obviously, yeah, you are helping them. You know, it's not as easy just for dogs and cats and everybody to be able to tell us their concerns as well. So to be able to kind of get in tune with them and also just help out with them must feel absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it is a very, as I said, it is a very rewarding career. And we not only help dogs, but we also help um, their how can I say it? I forgot the word. Um, well, they're owners. I don't like to call them owners, but it's like they're
Dog
owners.
parents, yeah, pet parents, because
Yeah,
it is like
they're
having
parents.
a
Yeah,
child, but for everyone, you know.
it is. It is.
That's brilliant. So obviously you must see and have a range of stories from being a manager at this hotel. And I think, you know, some people who may own pets may feel quite worried about kind of doing that, whether, you know, it's going to a cattery a dog sitter, that kind of thing. And I'd love to pick your brains on, what's maybe like a common worry that people have, maybe you've had some first time attendees or as such, what's kind of like some of the main worries that you come across with for the pet parents?
Well, a common concern they have when using our dog hotels or using other daycare facilities is whether their dogs will feel comfortable and well cared um, in a new environment, you know? So many owners worry about anxiety, especially if they are used to being at home instead of like going to boarding facilities, to daycares, you
Mm.
know? So I guess to address this, we prioritize creating a warm and welcoming atmosphere. We have very well capacitated staff, so we are ready to take care of this. Um, so what we do in order to make sure their pets feel comfortable is we play with them. We have a lot of toys. We have a lot of activities we do with them in order to kind of make them forget they're not at home. They're not with their parents.
Mm.
You know. Um, and we offer regular updates and photos to keep their parents informed about their dogs' activities and well-being and how they're doing and what they're doing. And um, my phone is ringing all the time, asking, "Oh, well, how is my dog doing?" Well, your dog is doing well, and we sent videos, we sent photos, we just do what we love to do.
That's a kind of like having that reassurance, a bit like, like when parents first have their kids go to nurseries and they get those updates as like a whole little system where you can check it for an app, I think. So it
Yeah,
must be
so
nice to have that same quality with your dogs because sometimes that is very much, yes, that's my precious child. I want to know how they're eating today and that sort of thing. So that's really awesome that you guys do that.
yeah, and also we are trying to implement this new system where we can talk in real time with their owners
Mm.
and send them updates about their pets because our hotel we operate in a different way. So basically, we call it a temporary dog shelter. So people rescue their dogs from the streets and send them to us, and they can stay for like 2 weeks or they can stay for 11 years. Like we have dogs now that they have been with us for like 10 years because either they have some disease that make people not want to adopt them, you know,
Mhm.
which is really sad. Or maybe the dog is just old and people usually don't like old dogs. I personally I love old dogs. They are they're amazing. Um, so it is really sad. But we're trying to implement this new system to make sure the parents are um, well they are assured.
No, I love that absolutely. A question popped in my head actually is obviously, that parents feel very cautious or worried about it, especially, when they're using a daycare facility for the first time. But what's maybe some qualities they need to look out from their dog to, whether or not they would settle well or deal with in that environment? So I think the only thing that comes to mind for me right now is, whether or not they've socialized with other dogs before. Like, what other things could they look out for or work upon before they get to a point where, like, okay, I feel like they'll be okay in the facility.
Well, I think when people come to us through Instagram or maybe through Facebook, so we have those pages and they are active. So they see how we manage to kind of take away this anxiety from the dogs, you know,
Mm.
and they can see on Instagram how the dogs are how they socialize with other dogs. And we have a system to identify whether the dog is suitable to be with other dogs or not, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah, so usually if the dog is not like very socializing and maybe fighting, we put them with other dogs who have maybe the same kind of behavior, you know? So, Usually those bays are like 3 to 4 dogs, maybe less. Maybe they are by themselves. They just need a place to stay so we can put them by themselves, you know. But either way, we still play with them. We still make them feel like home, you know.
Mm. But yeah, kind of cater their needs and how they react with other ones. So, 'cause you never know,
Yeah.
some might be like, oh, that's absolutely brilliant. I've got tons of new friends now. Maybe
Yes.
it's like with anything, like sometimes they just need a bit more, just like I just need to chill. Or maybe if they're more senior dog and they're not as playful and youthful as like a 10-month-old puppy or something.
Yeah, usually, well, just to give you an image of what the place looks like. So it's a
Mm,
house. It's a big house in um a 6,000 meters, 6,000 square meters land. So they
yeah.
have plenty of space to play. They have fruit trees, so they eat a lot of fruits. They love the fruits. And usually the old dogs, they just like to lay down in the garage and just be themselves. Just enjoy the weather. It is really amazing. It's something that really amazes me to see how they behave in different ways.
That sounds awesome. Well, kind of my last question really is, obviously you've met a range of dogs, looked after them, cared for them. What's something that has surprised you, about dogs that maybe some people don't even think about or know about?
Something that has truly surprised me about dogs is how smart they are. So
Mm,
I've always knew that. I think this is everyone knows that dogs are really smart. Um, but they they are not smart like learning new tricks. That's not about this. They do that, but smart about being like having empathy and emotional understanding. So my girlfriend has 3 dogs now and 3 cats, and their dogs, they just feel when I'm not okay, so they come to me, they hug me, they kiss me,
mm,
um so pretty much every single dog can sense their owner's feelings and respond with comfort, companionship. um So the dog will just approach them and um, give them support, and they can also adapt really well to situations, So it is really easy to rearrange their eating schedule, for example. So if you feed your dog 3 times a day, you can start feeding them like twice a day, and in a week or so, um, you know they will they will readapt to it.
yeah. I think that's something that's really amazing is how emotionally tuned in they are to us without us even saying that, oh, I'm upset and obviously, they do have quite comprehension of our languages. But it's different when they just kind of know you need a hug and then they'll just kind of flop onto you and they're just like, I didn't know I needed this, but now this is great. I'm getting dog cuddles and cat cuddles. And
Yes.
it's really awesome how emotionally intelligent they are, I think is the correct term there.
Yeah, and they have this eagerness to please you, because they're so grateful because you're feeding them, um you're giving them like a home, so they feel like they have to give it back to you. It
Mm.
is it is fascinating how each dog has its own like unique personality, and also their um there's this sense of gratitude, it
Mm,
lacks in humans.
definitely. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up the episode?
Well, I would just like to say that if you ever come to Brazil and you need a place to, you know, um to shelter your dog, like while you just need to travel, just let us know. We'll be here for you.
That sounds absolutely amazing. We'll obviously put a link to your website and everything. Because even if they're not necessarily going to travel to Brazil, it's really great to see like in depth how people take care of dogs, and even that you never know, you might learn something new just by absorbing through social media as well. Great. Well, thank you so much for coming on today and sparing a bit of your time.
Thank you so much for having me here. It was really nice talking to you.